Hello, Fuzz. Oh, I'm here today, beat as hell. So we did the thing yesterday. We were hanging out, having fun, and about 4:30, I got the, "Can you work tonight?" Yes. So I worked last night. Couldn't fall asleep until 3:30. Then woke up at 9:30. My body does not like 6 hours. I'm not like Papa Cat. Papa Cat is like, he's happy if he gets 4. Um, he's not moving the house, but he's happy. So today I'm just like, oh, everything hurts. No sound? Oh, now there is. Okay. I was going to say, I set it up before. Hi, Dee. Hi, Clark. Oh, putting my leg up. That's what I forgot to do. Forgot to wrap my leg. In a weird way, that's good because that means my leg is getting better. So I think I'm cheating with the wrap on it. So yeah, even my voice sounds a little weird because I was talking pretty much all night because if Papa Cat wasn't sitting next to me, the big little brother was sitting next to me, he might rear his head tomorrow. Not his face, just his voice. Because what are we talking about when we're sitting there? The balloon. Anyway, and I told him what I wanted to do, which was because we were supposed to go to IHOP yesterday. I'm going tomorrow. I was going to bring him back here, get him in the craft room, and then get him on a mic and tell him, come on, I have my old Tifa channel. You got to like talk. He actually liked the idea. And last night, somebody recognized us when they were paying. Or it was me. Was it just me? I can't remember if Papa Cat was next to me. Because he went, "Oh my God, I saw you on YouTube." I'm like, "Cool." I go, "Are you subscribed?" And he's like, "No, it showed up in my comment or in my recommendations." And he's a regular at the club. So it's like that's probably how it did. Maybe Papa Cat or something. I don't know. But it was so cool. It's the first time I've been recognized. But of course, he didn't get to see it because he was driving, so he wasn't, it's that I'm not sure sort of thing. So, but it was really cool. And he subscribed after that. So, ah, so that's a good thing. Um, I'm tired. There's always an excuse for like the lack of brain going on, isn't there? How about I'm old? Clark said, "What is reality? You profoundest thinkers have never been able to answer that question, nor although I am much older and a much more capable thinker than any member of your race." What is this what Xenu says? Did you give him an autograph? No. And he didn't ask for an autograph. It was sort of neat. It was very off-putting though, because it was a busy night because it was a holiday. So it was just sort of like he did it when he was like 2 or 3 people back. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the night was super weird. And didn't realize that the night was super weird because it was a holiday. Holidays suck. Holiday weekends suck. That would explain Saturday then too. Yeah, we got the weirdest people yesterday. We had a bridal shower who'd never been in before. They were in line. Somebody stuck their head out and saw the stage and like, I'm dancing. And I'm like, yes, do you know where you're coming to? You're coming to a goth club. People dance. And she's like, oh, I mean, they're dancing on the stage. And I was like, okay. 5 of them. 4 of them looked like little clones of each other. And then the 5th one that obviously was from the family because the 4 clones were mini skirts. Actually, they look like flapper dresses. So mini dresses, super thin. I think they even had the same hair color. And then the odd one out was regular size, wearing jeans. And I'm like, they all pay. And then I tell the last one, I say, can you keep them down tonight? And she's like, so they were good. Uh, High good vibes. Um, the big little brother was sitting next to me half the time. So he was like, I'm like, great. a bridal shower. And he's like, they're going to be fine. I'm like, no, they're not. I was telling security and he's like, they're going to be fine. And about a half an hour later, he's like, they're not squealing. They're going to be fine. I'm like, oh, yay. He worked security for 20 years. Keeps working. We all do. We all drop into some club and work something. So, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. But we had somebody who stole jackets last night. 2 leather jackets. And one was a leather vintage old Deaf Guild person jacket. So I'm sure it was really cool. They both disappeared yesterday. I think they were both leather. Told security to keep an eye out for people walking out of the back, but it always happens. Everybody gets used to, and this is what you should always do in a club. Coat check, keep it on, don't put it down. Don't even look in the opposite direction if you're on a table, okay? Because people can lift anything. It's like never let your purse out of your hands. That's why I started wearing crossbody, so I could dance with my purse unless I knew somebody who was going to be at the table. So everybody put their guard down again because a purse got stolen too. Everybody put their guard down. Everybody gets used to the club. And then everybody starts putting their jackets and coats and things everywhere. And then one day they disappear. And it's like, it's been going on since probably the dawn of clubs. It happened in the 80s all the time too. It's just like, you gotta stop getting too comfortable with your club. Even if you're a regular, there aren't enough security to keep roaming around, keeping people from stealing things, honestly. So the last person was a purse. She's like, didn't we see a bag? I'm like, go check a coat check. She's like, he didn't see it either. And I'm thinking, great. So the idiot hasn't left yet because this was a couple hours later. And I'm like, so real pickpockets can literally steal your purse right in front of you on a table. Happened to friends before. The tall bar tables, you're all standing around them. Somebody puts a purse on off, tells everybody, keep an eye on it. I used to hook them on my arm. That way I didn't have to pay attention. And then they come back and they're like, where's my purse? So yeah, people are that freaking good. So, hey, meow. I think I saw somebody leave the litter box with the way you have the second camera set up. The angle on the Okay, I'll show you what the second camera is. That's the second camera for the other cat. You look to your right, that's the hallway. And I could have swore I saw a white thing shoot out of the litter box. Just that one spot. So then it was Abby. Yeah, it's on the second. The litter box? No, it was right here. No, it was this one. We have a litter box on every floor. Well, second and third. They don't go on the first floor unless it's Birdie to bitch. Anyway. So it seems like the subject of the day is, I'm just going to call him TV. She won't stay. There we go. Every time I start talking seriously, something always gets me distracted. And now Miss Thing is and she looks so scraggly. I haven't brushed her in a couple of days. Oh my God. So, and she's really gotten into Dad like ruffling her up. So it's like, at first it was a joke that when I groomed her, he'd just start ruffling her right afterwards. Nope. Now he does it all the time. That is a jet. No, that's a plane with props. And the birds. I have the window open. Now she's sitting here. Oh my God. Now I can't change. You got to figure out a way for me to be able to do 2 cameras on the screen at the same time. So thank you, Dee. Yes, we call her the supermodel. She's a Norwegian forest. We found out because she was a rescue that my friends did because they have a cattery. And we were wondering what she was because she's not long hair. She's like a medium hair. And I found what breed she was. And then I told Papa Cat to look. Well, the front page of that breed was a cat that could be her twin. And he thought how did you put her on that webpage? I didn't know, I didn't think you built web pages. I'm like, I didn't. That's not her. So she's 8 and grumpy. So, and very skittish, unfortunately, and giving me shade. My God, you're right, Adam. So you don't even have to like think about it. I know it's you. What have I missed? Did I miss anything? No. Okay. As Adam says, Top Chat is exacerbated by that girl. No, not that girl. That girl. So Marlo Thomas throwing her hat in the air, right? I'm thinking Marlo Thomas did it and so did Mary Tyler Moore, didn't she? Wow. So that was the symbol of women's liberation in the 60s and 70s, huh? Thought it was burning your bra. Hi, Cobelf. Oh, this seems, I'm turning this down a little bit because it seems to be, I just blew it. I forgot which way is, no, that would be up. Okay, I'm hitting the red line on my thingy. So, and I have it backwards. It's facing the other direction. That's the direction it's supposed to face. Now it's gonna be really good. Yeah, I'm all over the place today because I'm tired. If I'm working at night, I usually can prepare for it, like mentally. But the promoter texted me at like maybe 5, because one of the um, corrallers, I call them, wasn't coming in. So the person who does uh, the front door was doing his job, and then I'm doing her job. So, but I got to meet who I was replacing all those days, with the 6 weeks. So she's cool. I like her. I'm such a brat. What are you Oh, what? She's looking up in a corner and it always drives me crazy. I thought she was looking at the television. So, hi, Bob. She'd feel better if she had a cigarette. I just keep looking at her and going, ew, I need to brush her. She looks so scraggly. The only place she gets mats because I'm OCD about it is under her arms. So, right where her arm hits her body, that's the only place she has little bitty mats, just like one or two. And if I get her in a good grooming mood, I can do it with a comb. Now we're done. Okay. She left. So that is the camera that he just set up. We will adjust it. But notice that when she's on it, you really don't pay attention to the things around it. So, so back to the semi-serious idea that I was making notes for to begin with, which is we all know at this point, Tom DeVocht. I'm trying to get off the balloon train before my feed, so I don't talk about him as much. So I'm trying to go back to my old habits, which were Natalie, Marilyn, um, and then look for Aaron, and then look around for Scientology. So because Natalie does it right, I think I'm waking up as she's ending. So found her and was like, wow, it's longer than normal, and the title was a little interesting. So I'm like, okay, glad I took a look at this. Why I could probably hear all of it. Um, it's the Scientology reaction got messy, and I disagree with Aaron. So I'm like, oh God, what happened? Because I saw the Scientology reaction got messy. No, sorry, Scientology. No, wait, what? Growing up in Scientology. It's when Marilyn did her thing with Aaron and Liz and Jenna. But I had gone Natalie first. I'm like, I'll watch that later because I need the recap of the day, what to making notes again, what to think about but not make notes for. So that's why I realized, make notes. So she was talking about what happened. Um, so she read the Tom DeVocht post, and I was thinking, that, because he was in Scientology, disappeared for years, came back. I was like, great, there we go, because he talks about getting Scientology, was it getting Scientology back and getting rid of DM? And I'm like, I was thinking, oh, great. He pops up out of the woodwork. He's an old ex-Scientologist. He says we should attack DM. I'm like thinking, great, a year down the drain because, we are the way we are. Let's be real, especially the never ends. It's like, yeah, we do respect and follow people. And I also figured that if he was from the great beyond and he knew Miscavige that closely, that it would be like another person who was in that situation, how he became like a figurehead. And I'm thinking, great, now he's going to become a figurehead, and all the things I've done in the past year are irrelevant because he said, let's not protest, let's get DM, da da da. And I'm thinking, I'm in California. I can't get DM. They have they have huge libel laws and huge stalking laws. So you can actually get someone to stop messing with you by a stalking law. So, we had Dominique Dunn in the 90s who was um, stalked by one of her ex-boyfriends, and she opened the door. He knocked on her door, she opened it, and he unalived her. And you might know her dad. Her dad was Dominic Dunn, so he was a good gossip guy. Um, so there were things, laws that went through about stalking. So if you're going to get someone and you can't do it by libel, you could probably do it, but you'll get caught for stalking if somebody wants somebody arrested. So it was like, great. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I'm screwed. And it was the first thing she was talking about. So I'm just like, because of yes, of course, I would um honor the people who have been in it because I haven't been in it. I don't know any better. So, and then she said no. And I was like, oh, thank you. So all of that, I was able to let all that go at that point because, yeah, no, I was seriously thinking, oh crap, there's no way. How am I going to get the word out that you can't do just Miscavige in California? So all of that goes through my head. And then Natalie's like, no, I don't agree with that. And I'm like, good. So, he still has a taste for the Kool-Aid. Yeah, I sort of thought that too. I was just like, are you going to take it back if they get rid of Miscavige? The point was that it's not all Miscavige. That stuff is doctrine that's in it from LRH. From my observation, in my opinion, and this is all allegedly. Thank you. Actually, I'm going to, let's see. Okay, nothing with my name on it. I'll show what I was talking about because it uses the fair use code right down there. So, which means also this is my opinion and this is all for entertainment purposes only. None of this is fact unless you can prove it to yourself. I talk in fiction. One of my designer bag guys says it just like that. This is all fiction. It is not fact. So back to me. Um, She was in Poltergeist. Yes, she was in Poltergeist. She was the big sister in Poltergeist. He unalived her when she was like 20. But yeah, he was an ex-boyfriend. And since she was an actress and Dominic Dunn's child, because he was very, very super well known here in California, that they passed a law. Sort of like the Amber Alert law, which is if a child is kidnapped, you immediately um, tell people. Amber Alerts, we get them everywhere when it happens. So yeah, it was one of those laws that got passed real fast because of who it was and what happened. So I keep thinking, I can't touch him. I can touch Scientology because that is a legitimate cult. That's the way I thought of it in my head. But can't go after the leader because it doesn't work that way. So Fuzz says Tom DeVocht always seemed to have a genuine affinity for Shelley Miscavige. I know. I realized where he was coming from. I thought it was nice for her that she did have someone on the planet who cared for her. But he left Scientology. Um, I went to look him up because I wanted to see how much the Substack was. And they showed his picture, and I'm like, oh, him. Okay. Because also, I wasn't too amused that, people were saying, you should start a YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And because he hadn't been anywhere and say, you should get paid for it, blah, blah, blah. I think they were assuming that he'd go to YouTube and build it up and then do the join button. He went to Substack, which made me even more suspicious of him. So I have all these stuff going through my head while she's reading that. I'm like, I'm screwed. But yeah, no, because that was one of the things. It's like, um, you're not building up, you're going to Substack. Substack is actually the channel of the moment. So it's not something that's going to like stick around, I have a feeling. I think it's still more of a Indiegogo or not Indiegogo, TikTok, YouTube world. So him going straight to Substack made me sort of go, okay, well, I don't have to worry about him with me. So, and being a never in, I also would have to, um, I'd have more of an inclination to respect the former ins, what their ideas were of how they should handle things. I'd probably be mad, but the Club Brain Fog is not just Scientology cult. So I'm like, I'll evolve somehow. But yeah, by the time she started talking about what she thought, I was like, good. So I wasn't also thinking in left field that it wasn't just a reaction to someone's trying to get someone not to disband the cult. And we all know why I'm about that. So it could just be got overexcited and it reads as savior complex. Ooh, it does. I didn't think about that. So yeah, so I watched Natalie. She pretty much went over the same things I was thinking. Um, that Scientology is, I think she said like all around rotten. And I'm like, yes, I agree with that. It's not who runs it. It's who, it's a whole concept because all of this was here before DM, except for like the fundraising and the what certain things. But the children as adults, 'cause that's also where my head went. The children as adults thing that was before him. You know, it's like there's the 50 to the 80s, the 50s to the 80s. That's not, and the 80s from here is DM, and it's like that's not just him. It happened for 30 years before that, and people were trying to get them out of it before that. Disconnection, everything else. So that's why I was like, okay. So Natalie talks about them. I'm just now watching Marilyn's feed from yesterday, and was thinking that I was sort of laughing at Aaron's sympathy for him being in the Sea Org since he was 12. But it's like, but he's been out since then. So, and I also was thinking, wow, leopards don't change his spots. My brain literally went to, so you want to keep, so you have a problem with DM and you want to keep Scientology. It's like, no, 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 you don't understand. It's a cult. So, um, what one of my notes is Tom DeVox said to go after DM and not Scientology. The first thing I thought of was, so we wanted to stay away from protesting because he said that and everybody will listen to him. That was before she got to the end. I'm glad that didn't happen. And also my little clout chaser, that's what I called him tonight, because he said I should wait till I get more people. 12 is a lot of people for me. So, because I'm going to drop the reason I'm here. So everybody get ready who know me. The other note was in Jonestown, the lady who survived, she was under a bed in a corner in one of the cabins. Said it was great until it wasn't. And that was the thing. Everybody said it too. Jim Jones was great and he made sense. And then one day he was gone in Guyana. So they think that he probably just upped his drugs speed. So that's why that's the first thing I thought of because he said that, he was talking about, I guess, the good times and there are people that liked it. That lady loved it until he flipped, and he flipped like a month before or something like that. So saying it was great back then, yeah, everybody's got their own opinion. And that was the first thing it reminded me of was the lady who was hiding under the bed. Because by the time they start going into cabins in Jonestown, they are just rounding everybody up and making sure they make it to the Kool-Aid because everybody has to do it. So that was why they easily didn't get her. She was an older lady, but yeah, she said she just went under the bed and they completely went over her. So she was one who could actually talk about Scientology, or not Scientology, Jonestown. Ooh, that was, ooh, my opinion, my opinion, my opinion. So, but yeah, it's like first thing I thought of. I may have never, actually, I have been in a cult. God, I keep forgetting the OTO. I may not have been in a cult like this, like Scientology or Jonestown. But because I had to be exposed to Jonestown when it happened, and in the 70s, like I always say, they didn't edit back then. Back then, we did see the kids on the ground. So, and I was 10. So, seeing it over the whole weekend where all of this stuff was almost constant with my grandmother, who was a news hound, and my dad in the hospital. So, I was with my grandmother the whole time. That is why I have no problem chasing Scientology because also, two-thirds of his Jonestown's flocks from Oakland and San Francisco. So his thing was stealing Social Security card checks. So most of the people were older and black. So that's also one of these days we'll go to the memorial. Who knows? Even tomorrow, maybe we'll go to the memorial. Um, or we can find where my pictures are because it's not in a great part of town. But I grew up not in a great part of town, so it won't bother me. Um, wow. Sorry, guys. Hi CBF mods and chat. Wow, the whole Devok thing has stirred up things up. Yeah. Considering Scooter Mom, hi. Considering they got me, or his post got me thinking of Jonestown, that's pretty intense. So yeah, you can like the cult. It's still cult. So I think that lady's passed on by now because it's the 70s and she was old. She was old enough to get Social Security. So she did a couple of interviews. Um, but yeah, I think she sat under the bed for the whole 4 days or something. But yeah, unfortunately, she had to walk by everybody. So she's the only person who survived that was still there. So, let's see. Hi, Fab Daddy. It's all fun and games until, yeah. Guyana is now the only food self-sufficient country on Earth. And it's not because of Jonestown. Everything there overgrown. So they didn't take any of the gardening from there because you know, it's it's the devil, basically. It's all grown over, nobody talks about it. The landing strip is gone, all of it because it was cursed. So, when 950 people die on a piece of land, it gets cursed. So, Fuzzy is becoming the new Ellie? Who's Ellie? Not even close. Fuzzy is a Supermon. You can't change my mind. Well, yeah, Fuzz is Fuzz. Um, you should be scared of me becoming the new Scooter Mom. Awesome, Fuzz. Scoot, Scoot, my mama. Oh my God, Fab Daddy. Yeah, you think? So yeah, and it's like, and I always tell Papa Cat, I'm like, Oh, this is going to stop the feed for a minute or two because Jonestown is rough to talk about. So I know that it's like, you say Jonestown, you can say Jonestown in the Bay Area, and the room can, like usual, is this only, yep, half an hour. I've gone through most of my notes. Um, oh, I've got one more. I didn't go through all of them. I got one more. Because she said that DM's afraid of body thetans of adults and children, which makes no sense because there aren't children. So, hey, Ulsa, I have thetans. Yes, I do. I have thetans. Yes, I do. And they're gonna come and get you. Ha ha ha. They're gonna come and get you. Ah, ha, ha. That was funny. I don't want to put him in front of the mods. Okay, so I'll just hold on to one. The pink one. And yeah, Cheryl made these for me. I uh auctioned it for Cubs champion.